Progressive, and you could save big time. For speedy security. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
If you are a fighter, Modelo is your reward. So listen close. You put up with a lot, but you always hold it down for your people. You are strong. You are fearless. You are the baddest on the block. You are an elbow grease factory, a force of nature. You are not to be reckoned with. You are a ride or die, a powerhouse of productivity. You are a fighter, and Modelo is your reward. You've earned every last drop of this rich golden lager, so raise it up high. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
KCUV Tucson, a Cumulus Media station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
And now with 2 outs, a full count. Bottom of the ninth, we're tied at 4. Tawa at second. Scott, a look at second. Now he deals. Swung on. Base hit left field. Tawa rounding third. Here comes Cosgrove to the plate. Diamondbacks win. Do you believe?
Yes! We do believe. Indeed. The Diamondbacks. What a walk-off last night over the Los Angeles Dodgers after Shohei put him in a hole early with a dominant pitching performance through the first 6 innings. And then essentially, like if you've been listening to Jim Rome for the last 2 weeks, one of the things he's been talking about is how bad the Dodgers bullpen is. I mean, that has been probably the storyline of the second half of their season, the potential fade if they don't win that 12th National League West title in the last 13 years. Although, again, it's the Dodgers. I don't know that it really matters. I mean, they're not going to be in the top 2. I don't think. I think they did maybe have a shot to be one of the top 2 teams, but they're probably going to be playing in the first round because if you're not aware in terms of Major League Baseball, the top 2 teams in every league get a bye. So seed 1 and seed 2 do not have to play in the wild card round. So for the Dodgers, if they're not going to be in one of those 2 spots, then I don't know that it really matters to them. And I'm not going to sit here and say that Dave Roberts is managing to lose, but I don't know that it really matters to them whether they're the 3rd seed, which is the 3rd division winner, or whether they're the 4th seed. They're still going to be playing at home, likely, in the first round of the playoffs, in that wild card round. Right now, they're 4 games in back of the Phillies after that loss last night. So, the Phillies lost 3 in a row. So there was an opportunity there for them, but they've lost 2 in a row now of the Dodgers. So they're probably going to be that number 3 seed, or again, like I mentioned, they'll be the lead wild card number 4. Either way, they're going to be hosting in the first round, in the wild card round of the playoffs. So from that standpoint, is Dave Roberts, and I had one of my Dodger friends who was Facebooking last night about some of the moves that Dave Roberts made at the end of that game last night. I don't know that is he managing to win like it's a playoff game right now? Like the Diamondbacks are obviously having to play like every game is a playoff game for them because they've got to win essentially 5 of the last 6 to even get into this thing. So does Dave Roberts play his cards differently at the end of that game, at the tail end of that game, if it's the real playoffs? Those are things that, again, we don't really know. But bottom line is, after Shohei got out, and we mentioned this yesterday, it's going to be guys you've never heard of. Again, now granted, if you follow the Diamondbacks, you've heard of these guys. But the average fan probably has no idea who Adrian Del Castillo is. The average fan, as we mentioned yesterday, has no idea who Jorge Barroza is. Brian McCann didn't even start the year on this team. Didn't even get there till June.
Luis Gonzalez is not walking through that door.
Right. And neither is Randy Johnson, and neither is Kurt Schilling, and neither are some of those other stars of the bygone World Series championship era of Arizona Diamondbacks baseball. But it's guys that have come up here and been given opportunities, and when their numbers called, they produce. Whether it's getting a bunt down, a bunt that's at your shoestrings with 2 strikes to move runners up to second and third, whether it's 2 strikes and being able to get a ball to the outfield to get a sac fly to tie a ball game. It's the little things, and this is where you look to, and you watch games like last night. If you're a Diamondbacks fan, you watch games like last night, and this is where all that work in the spring up at Salt River Fields and drilling how to pitch. What do they call it? Pitcher fielding practice. Pitcher fielding practice. What the hell was Tarek Skubal doing last night in one of the most important games of the season for his team? And a guy lays down a bunt, and he tries to throw it between his legs to first base. What are you? You're the best pitcher in baseball, and you just threw away a ball in what could turn out to be the most critical inning of the season for your team, and gave up 3 and by the time that half inning was over, your team went from being up 1-0 to being down 3-0. The little things. This is when late February and March come into play in Major League Baseball. Can you get that bunt down that we worked on for an hour or for however long on March 14th? Can you field that bunt to first base, that bunt that we worked on March 21st? Can you do those things in September to get your team to October? And last night, the Diamondbacks did those things and walked off the field winners. The Detroit Tigers did not do those things and walked off the field losers. And you got 5 games left to get it right if you want to be playing when the calendar turns to October. What a ball game last night. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. I mentioned Shohei at the top. Woo! Let's hear what Shohei did.
2-2. 2 men out, nobody on. Ohtani ready to throw. He steps back, kicks, delivers. And Corbin Carroll takes strike 3. A curveball caught him looking. Full count pitch from Ohtani. He kicks, fires. Swung on and foul tipped into the glove of Ben Rortvedt for strike 3. Ohtani ready to throw, shrugs his shoulders, shakes off the first sign, accepts the next one, and now the 3-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Got him with a sweeper. That's 3 straight strikeouts for Ohtani. 1-2 pitch from Ohtani. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Another 100-mile-an-hour fastball. He's got 6 strikeouts through the first 3 innings.
That courtesy of the Los Angeles Dodgers radio network. I mean, did you go to this game last night? Did you? Because we talked about it yesterday. Man, this would be the game to go see because, again, you know what? How many opportunities are you going to get a chance to see Ohtani pitch in a season? That was his 13th time that he's pitched this year. So you really, again, he's a starting pitcher. So in all likelihood, in any given season, you might only get 27 opportunities to see him pitch and hit in the same game. And, if you're not living in Los Angeles, cut that in half. So the opportunity to go see this guy pitch and hit in your own ballpark, and he goes up there and puts up zeros for 6 innings and strikes out 8 batters.
As is tradition, 42,882 people showed up, and 10 years from now, 100,000 people were there. Right?
Exactly. We love those stories. We love those. I was there that night in Phoenix on September the 23rd when Shohei struck out 8 in 6 innings and the Dodgers had a 3-0 lead and the Diamondbacks came and walked them off in the bottom of the 9th inning, and it led to a 6-game winning streak and the Diamondbacks making the playoffs and winning the World Series. We are getting way ahead of ourselves now. But
One game at a time.
That's what it will sound like 20 years from now. Yeah, it'll sound like that 20 years from now if the Diamondbacks do go on and win the World Series or something of that nature. He was excellent. He was absolutely fabulous, which, again, now that's another little thing that Dave Roberts has in the back of his pocket. And there's been talk about maybe Shohei out of the bullpen versus starting in the postseason. Maybe you bring him in out of the bullpen.
I know he's on a pitch count because he's coming back after a year not pitching. You mentioned if the skipper would have made different choices,
right?
If they were in a different situation, that was a playoff game. Shohei only going 6, being as dominant as he was. Know he would go deeper, pitch count or not.
He only had 91. Yeah. You could have got him another inning out of him because I think he was 91 out of 6. What's that about? 15 pitches an inning.
How scary is that, Lo? 101 with those slinkers and everything else he throws, like coming out of the bullpen to get a couple of outs?
You're the announcer say the sweeper. Yeah, I don't think you're hitting that sweeper because it looks like it's right over the middle of the plate and ends up 2 feet outside the strike zone.
It's scary. The movement on his balls is scary.
It's just scary indeed. All right, so that's where you were after 6 innings down. I mean, and Brandon Pfaadt was good. He just couldn't get out Teoscar Hernandez.
Next pitch for Brandon Pfaadt will be his 89th. 0-1-2 Teoscar. And he swings, hits it to the right center field gap. That's going to get down and go all the way to the wall. Ohtani around third. He'll score. Freddie Freeman around third. He'll score. Around second and on his way to third with a 2-out, 2-run triple is Teoscar Hernandez, and the Dodgers lead it 3-0.
Teoscar Hernandez had homered in the 2nd inning, that 2-run triple in the 6th inning. It was 4-zip Dodgers, and the Diamondbacks had 9 outs left. They scratched across 3 runs in their half of the 7th. Again, Mr. James McCann. I think I again called him Brian. I always want to call him Brian. Mr. James McCann contributing, the guy that showed up in July, contributing in a big way with a RBI double. And then, again, a name you probably, unless you follow the team closely, might not have ever heard of, Adrian Del Castillo.
1-1 on Adrian Del Castillo. Del cranks it. Way back. Goodbye.
Adrian Del Castillo made it a 4-3 game. Then you go to the 9th. And again, all those little things. Again, McCann with runners on 1st and 2nd, getting a 2-strike bunt down that was literally on top of his shoes. But he got it down to move the runners. Barossa tries to bunt. Can't get the bunt down. Gets a pitch that he can elevate. Sack fly to tie the game. Jorge Barossa. Have you heard of him? Jorge Barossa. Young outfielder for the Arizona Diamondbacks. That puts you in a position now that your names can come up and provide you some glory. Names like Geraldo Perdomo.
Tim Tawa is at second as the winning run. 2 outs and a full count on Geraldo Perdomo. Base hit. Hurry. Here comes Tawa. Alex Cole with a throw. He has saved.
As my guy Joe Tate used to say, listen to the crowd. 42,882. That's what you want. That's what you want this week. Crowds in the 40-plus thousands for these final 2 home games to send this team off to San Diego, hopefully in a really good position to clinch themselves a postseason spot. The skipper, Torey Lovello, after a comeback 5-4 win over the Dodgers.
A highly charged moment in a highly charged stadium. It was a great moment for this team, for everything they've been fighting for all the ups, the downs, the good moments, the bad moments. You keep flushing them day by day. These guys go out. It's all about them. They go out and link up to one another and fight as hard as any team I've ever managed. And I'm proud to be their manager for that reason. You guys saw the same thing I did. They never shut down. They were going up probably against the best stuff we've seen all year in Ohtani. He was locked in, and we knew it was going to be a tough battle for us, and we were trying to scratch across any type of momentum that we could, but he never let it happen. And then once we got into the bullpen and we started to maneuver a little bit, the boys responded. And that's, to me, what this game is all about. When your competitive best is needed, the most critical time, you can rise up to the occasion. So no more, nothing bigger than Dell's 2-run home run, nothing bigger than the sac bunt with 2 strikes, nothing bigger than Barosa, who has been learning day by day and piece by piece about what it's going to take to be a major league hitter, slows the game down and hits a huge sac fly for us. So this was a team effort, and I feel like we continue to build momentum every single day, and this is who we are. You see it. We lay it out there. We play with grit and determination every single day, and when it shows up like that, it's a special moment. And I was just really proud of what happened.
I mean, you heard him say it right there. Jorge Barosa, learning how to become a major league hitter in the midst of a pennant race. Dell, they know who he is. They call him Dell. They know who Adrian Del Castillo is. You might not know who Adrian Del Castillo is, but they know. They call him Dell. So the Diamondbacks win. Finally get 3 games over first for 500 for the first time since, what did we say yesterday? June 24th, I think, was the last date.
A long damn time.
Yeah,
DK,
that they were 3 games over 500. The good news is the Reds lost. The Mets, however, did win. The Mets were down 6-1. We'll get into that a little bit later as well. The Mets were down 6-1 in Chicago and came back and won. So they still hold on to that third wild card spot. The Reds and the Diamondbacks are tied, but the Reds have the tiebreaker over the Diamondbacks. So there's still some climbing to be done for your Snakes to try to get in to this playoff picture. But it started off well last night with a walk-off win, the 3rd in a row for the Arizona Diamondbacks. 520-848-1290. Much more in store for you. We're going to talk more Diamondbacks. I want to hear from you. 520-848-1290. I want to hear from you if you're not a Diamondbacks fan. What about your team? Do you follow the Yankees? Are you a Yankee fan? The Yankees are in dramatically.
I want to hear from Detroit fans to see if they're okay.
I'd like to hear from Detroit fans. Are you okay right now?
11 out of 12.
I'm feeling real good. I'm feeling real good as a Guardians fan right
10
now.
10 out of 11 losses.
There you go. So we'll get into that. We'll talk some. So Oklahoma State fired their coach yesterday, football coach. We'll get into the firing of Mike Gundy on the show today. We're going to talk some Pima soccer as well. They are still rolling up there on West Anklam Road. All of that in store for you. DK on the Sports.
Also,
yes,
there was another comeback last night.
Oh, yes, there was. We will dive into the Phoenix Mercury, down 20 points in the 3rd quarter and rallying to win Game 2 on the road in Minnesota. We'll get into that as well. Dragon Ball's got your traffic and weather every 20 minutes on the 5.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. We have a crash on the right lane of the I-10 going westbound towards I-19. It's milepost 259. Prepare for some backup trying to switch over from the I-10 to the I-19 there. Also an accident with injury at North Wilmot Road and East Broadway Boulevard. All sides coming to a stop there as you get towards that intersection at the moment. For your weather, we're currently sitting at 102. We're going to stay that way until eventually we get to the cool down at 6 p.m. I'm Dragon Ball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Rooter Ranger 24/7 Plumbing, Sewer, and Drains. For fast, affordable plumbing and emergency drain services, call Rooter Ranger and get out of plumbing danger. RooterRanger.com.
888-7-RANGER. Get you out of plumbing danger.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and skip the regular line at the airport and pay for speedy security. Imagine not having to quickly unpack and pack at the place you already came packed to. And wearing your shoes the whole time you're there? You can't put a price on that kind of luxury. Well, actually you can, and you paid for it. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for speedy security. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Wildcat fans, Arizona football tickets are on sale now. Join the party at Arizona Stadium all season long as your Arizona Wildcats take on year 2 in the Big 12. There's nothing better than an Arizona football game day, from the tailgating scene to the action on the field. So bring a friend and get your tickets now by calling 520-621-2287. That's 621-CATS, or by visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/FB. And as always, bear down.
Do you trust those in charge of your financial future? Trust is founded on 3 core principles: competence, honesty, and benevolence. Those making decisions about your financial future should always place your best interest ahead of their own. I'm Natalie Fernandez-Lee, and at Meridian Wealth Management, fostering trusted relationships with our clients is our top priority. Call us at 719-1433 or visit meridianwealthllc.com to learn more today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Football season is here.
Oh, man.
Believe has the podcast to enhance your football experience. From the pros.
One of the most interesting quarterback rooms.
To college.
Michigan is set at 8.5 wins.
To fantasy.
If you feel that way, why didn't you trade him?
Become a better fan and listen to the football podcasts from Believe.
Just search Believe. That's BLEAV podcast.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
All right, she's inside. Are you good?
Yeah. It's just, she's my baby girl, you know?
I do, and ceramic coating was a good choice.
Oh, she's beautiful.
Yep, I know.
Recon Auto Detailing. Enhance or restore your baby to her former glory with paint recondition, ceramic coating, paint protection, tinting, and more for full protection of your vehicle inside and out. New cars, old cars, we love them all. Recon Auto Detailing, 3829 North Oracle Road, Tucson. ReconDetail.com.
There are many reasons you might need Dorado Rockin' Materials. A few bare spots in the yard. The driveway needs filling in. Or it could be that the yard needs a whole makeover. Whatever the reason, if your yard has the summertime blues, Dorado Rockin' Materials has everything from sand to boulders and every rock and pebble in between. If you need help spreading it, we have options for that too. Call 400-4233. Dorado Rockin' Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
So hot. I can help you.
Good afternoon. We're with Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team.
But I didn't call yet.
That's how fast we are, man.
Just as I thought, this AC is out.
No, we're not gonna lose it. Come on. Come on. Don't you die on me.
Johnson, get a hold of yourself. Sorry, we take this very seriously.
Wow, you fellas are good.
It's not just a name, ma'am.
It's who we are kind of thing.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. Goodfellasac.com.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Wickham gets it off. No. Thomas keeps it alive. 8 seconds left. Wickham, another look to tie. You bet. Sammy Wickham has tied it at 79.
So there was not one but 2 comebacks last night of note for teams here in the desert. The Diamondbacks, as we chatted about in segment number 1, coming from 4-zip down to walk off the Los Angeles Dodgers 5-4. And then the Phoenix Mercury, who were down 20 points in the third quarter, 59-39, coming back to beat the Minnesota Lynx in game 2 of the Western Conference semifinals, 89-83 in overtime. Let's hear how that one went down.
Smith to jump it up with Matt, and we are underway in game 2.
Back defensively in transition. Minnesota so good doing that all season in game 1.
Collier with an incredible shot over Copper. Here's Sabali firing and hitting. And that's exactly what you were talking about, Rebecca.
It's so important for her to be a floor spacer and to make her look.
Under 2 minutes to go, 5 on the shot clock. Williams with the lay. Wickham gets it off. No, Thomas keeps it alive. 8 seconds left. Wickham, another look to tie. You bet! Sammy Wickham has tied it at 79. 3.4 to go. Collier puts it on the deck. Gets it off. No! And we have overtime in game 2. Wickham driving, kicking. Copper connects. It's a 6-point Phoenix lead. Timeout, Minnesota. Alyssa Thomas, always an incredible defender, has held Minnesota to 5 of 17 shooting as the primary defender tonight. They'll get it into Wickham, the hero at the end of regulation with the game-tying 3. And the Phoenix Mercury pull off a comeback for the ages and tie up these best-of-5 semifinals at a game apiece.
I'm telling you, and don't get me wrong. We've talked about this Phoenix Mercury team and how critical Alyssa Thomas is to everything that they've done. She did not win the MVP award. We didn't get to that yesterday. She lost to Asia Wilson. I think she finished 3rd overall in the MVP, because I think Nafisha Collier finished 2nd, who was on the other side of the coin in this current series. But to me right now, this team is teetering on what Satu Sabali does. And when Satu Sabali can find her offensive game, this team has been able to play at a high level. This is game number 6, I believe, of the postseason. They're 3-3 or 3-2. I believe 3-2, if I'm not mistaken. Right, they played 3-5, game 5. So, yeah, 3-2. And in the games where she has not played well offensively, they have not won. And last night she came back 9 of 22 from the floor, 24 points, 9 rebounds. She knocked down 5 3-point shots, and the bench, who we talked about, I think we at halftime, we had mentioned last night they weren't getting much from the bench. They did in the second half, and you heard it there from the likes of Sammy Whitcomb, who knocked down 3 trays, Kate Westbelt, who knocked down 2. They made 13 in the ball game, all told, and they win it 89-83.
25-3, DK, was the disparity in bench points.
Yeah.
25-3. I was on my way home. It was a 17-point lead when we logged off yesterday. Stopped by the store to get 3 22-ounce Moon Juice IPAs and got into my door at home just as Nafisha Collier missed the shot at the buzzer that sent it into overtime. I just missed the Wickham 3. This ties the second largest comeback in WNBA playoff history and ties the largest road comeback ever, down 20 points in their third quarter. And as you said, I mean, so many players are so important. Obviously, Ka's important. Satu Sabali's shooting. Those numbers don't look great. They're lopsided in the losses in the playoffs. But it's such a team effort if you look up and down. Everybody contributed, and the defense was much better, holding the Lynx down. They shot so well in game 1. But you got to just give credit to the grit, toughness, all those things to come back from down 20. Must have been something inspiring that coach said at halftime.
There you go. Let's hear from the head coach on his team and what they did to come back from 20 down to win game 2.
I think just pride and toughness, grit. I couldn't be more proud of our group for doing that. I believe this is our 4th game in 7 nights, and so I was a little worried going into the game. But boy, they really responded in the second half. I mean, we just kept fighting.
That's Nate Tibbetts, the head coach of your Phoenix Mercury after an 89-83 win over the Minnesota Lynx. Mentioned Satu Sabally, 24 points in the game. Alyssa Thomas finished with 19 points, 8 rebounds, and 13 assists. Satu and Alyssa on Nate's intensity at halftime to try to get the club going when they were down 48-32.
I felt that way at halftime once Nate really gave us some heat. We're confident. We're confident in us, and we've been battling all season long, so you can't give up a basketball game if you're down whatever. And I believed at halftime, and that's what we did.
Nate said we should ask you guys how much heat you got at halftime.
He did.
Was that a huge heat compared to other games? It was
appropriate for what we did that first time.
There you go. For sure. And you heard the 3-point shot that